Welcome agents. Today I came across a post from community manager Amper on the official Division 2 forums reminding everyone of the active in-game events and when they would end. One of these included expeditions. Now today I want to go over this post and this news because quite frankly I'm a little bit cheesed off after reading this, as I'm sure you will be too. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below, subscribe for dedicated Division 2 content, and let's jump right in. Alright, so the meat of today's news is this. On screen is a post from Amper detailing all of the in-game active events. So let's just quickly go through these because generally it's actually a good reminder, but we're going to get to the reason why this isn't such a good reminder as we go through this. So firstly, don't forget to pick up your Expedition Care Package from the Grants tab in your stash before August 13th. This includes the new Flash Backpack Trophy. More details are available here. The Heatwave apparel event is still active, but you have until August 15th to earn free apparel keys from in-game activities. The event closing phase begins at this point, and apparel keys will only be available for direct purchase. Stay up to date with all the information here. The last investigation area of the Kenley College Expedition Student Union is now open for all players. You're guaranteed to earn the Diamondback Exotic Rifle by completing all 3 investigation areas. We're going to skip the next one. We're going to go to the last one first. The Diamondback Rifle is available as an expedition reward for 1 character. After obtaining the Diamondback for the first time as the expedition completion reward, the weapon falls into the loot pool for bosses in heroic difficulty missions, as well as investigation area loot rooms. And going back, now this is the kicker here, guys. As part of the Kenley College Expedition cycle, it will close on August 13th, but will return with a new cycle later this year. Make sure to grab the elusive Diamondback Rifle while it's still available. I wouldn't really call it elusive because you kind of just get it at the end of doing this stuff. It's not really elusive. You know where it's not like it's hiding somewhere. It's right there. You've just got to grab it. So it's probably not the best word to use here, but it's on a cycle, guys, and it's going away very soon. Now, I've looked back through the promotion of these expeditions, but nowhere do I remember them saying these were temporary, and I haven't been able to see it anywhere in the promotional material. They've mentioned cycle before, but we're going to get to this, but I thought that just meant they cycled going through each activity. But anyway, maybe it's my fault, but I would suspect that if this was common knowledge that I had overlooked, people wouldn't have been commenting on this forum post as surprised as I am right now, and as surprised as you guys probably are right now. Now, I was the first one to say that I think the first expedition we have been given was pretty bad, to be honest. And if they're all like this, then I'd rather they just did away with them entirely. Unless, of course, the mastery system they're working on really does make them feel worthwhile and not repetitive, overused PvE challenge that we've all seen in plenty of other games before. And yes, I would probably never play Kenley College again, but what's bothering me is I'm sure the most people thought this was on some sort of rotation basis, where this would either sort of end and someone would replace it, which we've had no news about, or it would just keep cycling back through you having to do it all over again. It appears as though this content, however, will just be removed and nothing will replace it. At least not immediately anyway, meaning a huge part of episode 1, being expeditions, was actually only temporary content. This already reminds me of the whole temporary stash pace sold prior to launch, and whilst this is free, the same aura of deviance lingers here. Another thing important to note as well here is the Diamondback, the new exotic rifle that was already time gated by 3 weeks, will be gone until Kenley College returns, meaning this was also a temporary exotic. Now, I hate to be negative, you know, I generally don't do negative stuff on this channel unless I have to, and I have to call this out because I think this is absolutely wrong. A temporary DLC is what we have. And the only way I found out about this was by going onto the Ubisoft Forums to seek content for a video, and boy, did this deliver. And that's another thing. Why is this not displayed in game? What it says when you hover over the activity is available for 3 days and 13 hours, and then below that it says next available in 3 days and 13 hours. Now, because it shows all 3 sites under the available for subheading, I read this as all 3 of these activities are available for the next 3 days and 13 hours. I think that's self-explanatory. The next available in, I read as all these sites will go back to incomplete and I will have to do them all again. Nothing here tells me that after these 3 days and 13 hours, this activity will be removed until later this year. And why is that? Is that really so difficult? Off topic, but on the same subject, why is it that anything worth knowing, like max attribute rolls for gear, for example, is not available in-game, and you have to go find it on the web. You have to go to Reddit and find someone who's did it for you. This is just very frustrating because I know a ton of people will have no idea that this is a temporary activity. People who may have put it off for a while to grind something else or are doing other things. And if they don't figure it out soon, they're going to lose their chance actually getting quite possibly one of the strongest PvE weapons in the game. And on a side note, guys, I say PvE because the devs have confirmed the Diamondback mark does not apply in PvP due to some issues on the PTS. So that's coming at a later stage, and it's not very good in PvP, so it is one of the strongest PvE weapons in the game, and I've covered that before. If I'm misreading this post, please let me know in the comments, but I think it's quite clear, and I really think the developers need to reconsider this, especially, as I said before, when most players will have no idea about this. Now, they have specifically mentioned this content will be cycled, so it's not going to be going away forever, but if they do not cycle it with other content taking its place, then they're effectively removing content from the game temporarily. As far as I'm concerned, expeditions were not advertised like global events where you knew it was for a set period of time, and if it was, no one got that memo. So there is very clearly a serious marketing issue there. I suppose the only silver lining here is the content is free, and now it all makes sense. Now, I'd normally ask you guys to think about this and leave it in the comments down below, but I'm sure you all share the same frustrations as me here. Like I said, I never planned on playing the expedition again myself, but I know plenty of people who really enjoy this content. Unless they see this video or have some sort of premonition about the impending removal of this activity, some sort of final destination type situation, then they're going to log in on Tuesday and find it just gone. It's sad, really, that the main focus of episode 1, these expeditions, are time-gated. I mean, episode 1 is called DC Outskirts Expeditions, and nowhere does it say for 1 month only. Man, I'm just really disappointed with this news. I'm sorry, guys. I hate making these types of videos. I really do, but you guys need to know, because some of you guys, like I said, are going to drop in on Tuesday, and you wouldn't have known about this. Now, to end this video on a more positive note, at least for me anyway, I've got some quick conflict footage I took earlier where I actually had a very tiny bit of fun, so I thought I'd just finish it off with that because I do have some hope that PvP will one day be okay. With that said, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and epic out.
A specialization supply drop has been arranged.